Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. Please press like, subscribe, and share. Share this video with someone who you may think need it. Let's talk about what our world needs. We've had so many things happen on this earth that is just heartbreaking. Let me, I'm going to, let me say this. Just imagine that God gave you or gave us earth as a playground, as an experiment to see how or what you would do with it. So it's your playground. You could do whatever you want with it. You have free will and you have power that you don't even realize that you have, so that you could change the situations in your life on earth anytime you wanted to. It's like a play. If you don't like the way this play is going, which is your life, change it to something different. The problem is when you're giving earth to come to, you forget who you really are. A veil comes down, covering your memory. You have no idea who you really are. So you don't know the power that you have. You don't know that you could create whatever you want to create here. You don't know that this earth is your playground. So over the centuries, you have control of this playground. God has given you control of this playground. You, along with your other siblings, the, which is the rest of mankind, who are your brothers and sisters. Now, what you created in the beginning when you first came to this magnificent place called Earth, it was so beautiful. So you created loving things. You were so in tune with God and with I'm going to say the light, which is God. You were so in tune with that light. So you were living in like garden, a garden of love and light and prosperity and peace. It was just magnificent. Because when you first came, you knew who you were. When it was time for you to exit the world and transcend back into your regular home, you were totally aware of everything that was happening. So there was no division between your brothers and sisters who had lived and those that had died. So in other words, you could still communicate with them even though they had went on to another dimension. You knew that they were still here. So you was aware of everything. And then slowly you begin to become selfish. And that power of the memory began to fail you. Then you could not no longer communicate with all dimensions while you were on earth. So people who died, you thought they were gone forever. The more selfish you became, the more destructive you became in the earth. You began to murder, steal, and lie. You begin to rape, fornicate, and commit adultery. You withdrew the love that you had for God and the earth. The more selfish you became, the more you withdrew from love. Until you became in the position that you are today, where you are allowing fear and anger to control your life, not love. And now you're so lost, you don't know how to get back to where you were in the beginning. How far has this earth came that your brothers and sisters would kidnap an 84-year-old woman who is not in good health, kidnap her from her family? And why would you even do that? Why would your brothers and sisters even try to put an 84-year-old woman in that position? Because it's been worldwide news that Savannah Guthrie's mother was kidnapped at the age of 84, taken from her home in the dead of night with only her pajamas on, no shoes. You who came from the bosom of God, why would you do that? Are you so lost that you don't even have an inkling of love anymore or compassion? And now you don't know how to get back to where you were in the beginning. So what does this sound like to you? If I'm telling you this story, what does this sound like you and your brothers and sisters are missing? Love. Wouldn't you say, if you just go into a dormitory room and kill 5 or 6 people who in there who haven't done anything to you, who you don't know anything about them, and you kill them? Doesn't it sound like it's a lack of love? Or you go in and kidnap an 84-year-old woman for money? What does that sound like? A lack of love? So you say, oh, how can I get out of this? How can I help my brothers and sisters get out of this? Maybe we do need more love. Because I even forgot how we even got here. Your selfishness. The more selfish you became, the more destructive ways you begin to act out. So now you're missing love. Well, how can we get this back? How can we change things? Everything starts with you. Because you and your brothers and sisters and everything is one, when one person change, it has an effect on everybody. In other words, it has an effect on the entire system. All of your brothers and sisters, if one of you change, it has an effect on all of you because we're all one. So if one change, eventually another to change and another and another, and it'll keep going like that to the majority of change, and then it'll be, change the earth. So how do we get back to that love? By focusing, putting our attention on love. Like I taught you in the last video, what you focus on is what you become. So you want to focus on that love constantly throughout the day. Take your mind off the destructive things that are happening in the news and place it on love. And let that love fill your world until you begin to feel that love in your being. Until you wake up in the morning and have compassion for people. Until you wake up in the morning and have love for people. And you just maybe want to knock on your neighbor's door and just bring her a cup of coffee. Why? Because you love her. Or you have a sick neighbor down the street who you saw throughout, maybe the year, but you have never said anything to her. And all of a sudden you wake up one day and you have compassion and love. And you go visit her. Once you start feeling that love inside of you wanting to react through you, then you know it's working. So your goal would be every morning, think about love all day long. Think about love. Then a couple of times a day, put your attention on love until a little bit begins to come back to you. The quality of that love begins to come back to you. And when you feel it in your heart, then you know that it is beginning to fill your world. So that is what our world needs most of all, is love. And after we have love, then we could bring other qualities into the world. But let's start by bringing love into our world. Let's start by stop being so selfish. Some people are so selfish, but they don't even think they're selfish. I was talking to the girl the other day, and everything she was saying, she was telling me a disagreement she had with a friend. But I never heard her have any compassion for the friend. It was me this, me, 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 me. I didn't get up in time. This happened to me, that happened to me. I was angry. I said a lot of nasty things. I'm going to apologize because I said this because of me, 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 me. And when I even hinted that this person was selfish, they were like, oh, no, how could you say that about me? I'm not selfish at all. You're telling me what happened in this broke down friendship, but everything was on you. I was hurting. I was busy. I, which is me, 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 me. So it has become so, I don't know. It's like selfishness has become so natural to people that they don't even realize when they're selfish. But I tell you, that is what brings destruction in your world. When you're selfish. So examine yourself. See your selfishness, because you can't change a thing if you don't know it's there. So change yourself and bring more love in yourself, and watch your entire world change for the better. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Patricia Show. Have a great week.